This is my first experience with any sort of stimulants, aside from caffeine. Beyond this, I've had various experiences with marijuana, alcohol, and DXM, but I decided to finally go for something different. Time to try out one of these uppers I've heard so much about. 9:20 p.m. Ingested 250 milligrams of propylhexedrine. 9:50 p.m. Beginning to feel a little euphoric. Possibly placebo effect, but nonetheless noted. Just scrolling through past users' experience reports with propylhexedrine. 10 p.m. Left to go to a friend's party down the street. Significant increase in euphoric feeling. Not full-blown yet, but definitely present. Enjoyed the walk and easy casual conversation with roommate/friend despite the coldness of the air. Realizing a refreshing sense of memory and able to recall certain minor events from past experiences and plug them into conversation very aptly. Conversational skills definitely improving. 10:10 p.m. Arrived at party. Drank a beer. Euphoria rising even more, which can only be described, with my limited knowledge/experience of stimulants, as extreme feeling of generally being at peace with the world and with others. Drank another beer within 10 minutes later, which feels to generally enhance the overall high/buzz of the propylhexedrine somewhat. Not completely sure, may have still been the come up to peak or a simple placebo effect. 10:45 p.m. Euphoria peaks at a beautiful high. Generally pleasant thoughts and a great sense of focus regarding any topics being discussed amongst the partygoers. Completely aware of surroundings at all times, so able to play complex drinking games while holding side conversations and being aware if when attention is in danger of being neglected to semi-isolated roommate, who came along but did not know anybody, or mutual friend who is hosting. Generally feeling a sweet smile across my face for the most part, while also not seeming overly happy or eager. Able to converse with anyone present, despite not knowing any of the other guests whatsoever. Generally feel like I'm displaying a great mood and temperament. Also not bothered at all by obnoxiousness of excess drunkenness of a few of the guests. Can dodge any form of conflict if it presents itself. Extreme feeling of being able to keep everything in perspective, and hold an overall positive outlook/mood despite external circumstances. Very comfortable. Also, use the restroom to urinate and examine pupils. No observed abnormal visible dilation. 12 a.m. Approximation of time of occurrence, but still feeling absolutely euphoric and in control of almost everything, almost a super sober state, but with incredible confidence and high. Scalp feels very pleasant when rubbed or massaged, so I am tending to casually run my fingers through my hair every now and then during conversation. Also beginning to notice continual tendency to grind teeth on the right side of jaw, but overall not very jittery or lightheaded like the negative effects of a caffeine high. Definitely a worthwhile experience, hoping the come down won't be too bad if I prepare adequately. 1:40 a.m. Left party. Definitely still feeling mild euphoria, but not as pronounced as noticed earlier. Despite drinking several beers and 2 mixed drinks of whiskey and coke, I still have complete control of actions, words, and thought processes. Estimating a moderate level of intoxication, but I could still hold coherent discussions with each of the partygoers, including the one completely sober person present. Engaged him in a mild discussion of philosophy/political theory that definitely gave me signals of appreciation/admiration on his behalf because I knew, and could recall for casual discussion, certain elements from past readings. Left feeling like the life of the party with everything worthwhile to say, and continued to chat with roommate naturally and flowingly throughout the walk home. Terrific night, feeling like I left with absolutely no enemies and definitely several people who developed higher opinions of my personality and general disposition. 1:55 a.m. Began documenting experience. Listening to house/dubstep music in my room while writing. Will probably study for my classes again in the next few hours. I have to work at 7 a.m., and I still feel alert and energized, albeit euphoria is definitely wearing off. Might pop the other 250 milligrams. The temptation is very strong, but I'm willing to wait a little longer until the come down is more pronounced. Also, currently occupied with rehydrating/consuming glucose-rich sports drinks, Gatorade, and fruit juice. 2:15 a.m. Euphoric feeling feels mostly worn off, but energy is still prevalent and abundant, but not to the point of excessiveness or distraction. Plan to begin studying/reading for classes shortly. Still debating taking the other 250 milligrams, but I will probably take it as I am feeling good overall and in an experimental mood. Plus I could use some more energy to probably help power me through the coming day. 2:30 a.m. Began studying. Increased focus and speed reading ability definitely noticed and appreciated. 3:15 a.m. Euphoria is completely gone, but energy level is still fairly high. Focus is becoming a slight issue, however, and I'm fearing an increasing decline of energy, so I decide to take the other 250 milligrams and continue studying and listening to music. Still loving the music. 4 a.m. Mild stomach ache, but really nothing to complain about. Very much appears asymptomatic. May just be the hunger of being awake at 4 a.m. Slight head buzz returning from red dose, and head/scalp is becoming more sensitive again to touch. I'm hoping that it will pick back up to the same intensity it had at the beginning of the night. I can really see how these can be tempting to binge on, but luckily I only bought 2, so I knew that I will not be able to take an unhealthy and excessive dose and ruin my first experience. Focus is regaining as well and energy is mostly the same. 4:15 a.m. Rolling again. Buzz feels great, constant tingling sensations along my scalp, and I'm still going at my reading at a lightning pace. Beautiful. 5:15 a.m. Fleeting fit of mild nausea that led to dry heaving, but passed within minutes. Euphoria mostly gone again, but energy levels are still good. 6:15 a.m. Showered, and feel overall with an adequate level of energy still. I will probably stop writing here, since I have to get ready for work now, but from what I can tell thus far in my journey, the trip is awesome, the come down seems gradual and minimal, and the negative side effects are few and brief. Definitely watch your level of moderation though. I know I could not have handled 3 full cotton rods, 750 milligrams.